Good morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Going to talk weather with you this morning. Going to talk about a cold day today. We're going to talk about a little shot of snow across northern Michigan. And yes, we have to talk about a changing upper air pattern that will probably dominate at least the first 2 weeks of February. And of course, as always, share this if you will. And also, if you have any questions or if you're doing any traveling anywhere across the U.S., I'll try to whip out an answer for you as quick as I can. We'll take a look at the maps together. So let's start off with what we should always start off with, what's going on today as far as precipitation on the radar right now. And it's just some pockets of what I would call light lake effect snow, a couple of inches in spots, and relatively minimal coverage. So the rest of the state, pretty good shape, although it is cold. So here's the radar forecast for today. And you don't have any significant problems. Now, as we go through the evening hours, snow will be coming across the UP. And our model on this one stops at 11 p.m., but it pretty well shows you about how far south any light snow will come, and it's mostly across the UP, far northern parts of the lower peninsula. And as far as snowfall totals on tonight and Wednesday morning snow, there is a winter weather advisory for the eastern UP. Southern lower should stay dry, no accumulations. Good morning, Gail from Bay City and Sheridan. Eastern UP, probably call it a 3 to 6 inch snow and a little snow across the western UP. And again, that is tonight and tomorrow morning. Temperature-wise today, bundle her up. 22 to 24-ish, Detroit, Ann Arbor. Same for Jackson, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, 24, 25, 27, Grand Rapids. Saginaw Bay area, lower 20s, 21, the thumb, upper teens to lower 20s. Northern lower in the upper teens, and in the UP in the upper teens. And then this is the big deal coming up, is we have an upper air pattern change. So let me tell you what you're looking at here. This is a computer model that goes out 16 days. We'll look at it for the next 10 and you'll get the hint. Here's Michigan, Florida, Texas, California. And this is the flow at about 15,000 feet up. The blue you see means that that flow is colder than normal. And the reds areas you see would mean that it's warmer than normal, okay? So this is current flow. And watch how it's going to change. What we're going to see happen is the polar vortex is going to slip over to this side of the globe and become quite large. And someone asks, how does it look for the eclipse on Wednesday? In southern half of lower, I'd say it looks okay. Northern lower and the UP will just be getting the clouds going away from that snow shower activity. Okay, so let's go through this. Hopefully, yeah, here we go. Jim King's hopefully making more ice. Yeah, I think into February the ice is going to thicken up. Okay, we're into Thursday and Friday, and there you could start to see the lobe of the polar vortex starting to strengthen and shift toward the Hudson Bay. Okay, and we're into Saturday now, and the polar vortex continuing to deepen, because remember, these greens mean that the heights on this pressure level are quite low, meaning quite cold. Good morning, Traverse City and Leslie Stark. Okay, so we are into Monday of next week, and you can see how the polar vortex was up here, starting to dumbbell down around and putting Michigan's flow from the Arctic So we are going into the deep freeze again. Looks like it could be close to what we had in January. And I'm just going to shoot on out to about 10 days, which would be, let's see, that would be February 9th. And again, polar vortex hanging around and warmth up at the poles. That's the reason for it, and I do believe it's part of our accelerated climate change. Where's Al Sleet, the hippy-dippy weatherman? Yeah, nobody lives at the airport. So, point being is, we're going into a pattern change. Now think about this. We have done this a lot in the last, really in the last year. Going back to last February. Last February was warm. Then we had a cool spell. Then we had a warm spring, early summer. Then we had quite a cool July, August. Then a rip-roaring hot September. Remember that? 6 days, 95 plus. A lot of places in Michigan. October was warm. November was warm. Turned very cold December into early January. Flip-flopped again. We're going into another flip-flop. I'd say it's a 2-week flip-flop to at least a 2-week flip-flop to maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks. Carries us into the end of February or early March. We'll have to look at that. But point being is we're going back into the deep freeze. Someone asked about any hope of a blizzard of 78. Right now, what I found is when we get into a deep freeze like this, the storm track shifts to the south. The storm track will be down here. Storms will come out of here, go to the south. You'll get some nasty ice, snow down here occasionally, but we'll be too far north out of the storm track. Okay? So we may just be going into cold and not a lot of measurable snow. We will have snow, obviously, because we'll be in the cold pattern. So there you have it. Today is a cold day, but a quiet day. Tomorrow's a little milder and a fairly quiet day in most of Michigan, especially southern Michigan. And then we go back into the deep freeze starting on Thursday, and it's gradually down over the course of the next 10 days after that. So we'll keep you updated. You have yourselves a